Ladies, you want to be in a happy relationship? There's only 4 things you need to do. 1, find a man who'll make you laugh. 2, find a man who's cultured and will explore this world with you. 3, find a guy who's intellectual and ambitious and will support your ambitions. 4, of course, find a guy who's honest, trustworthy, and respectful. But most importantly, more important than any of that, ladies, is that you make sure that these 4 guys don't know each other.
Oh, wait, you're serious? Let me laugh even harder.
Yeah, what fantastic advice. You know, guys, this is the kind of crap that men hear and they think to themselves, you know what? Why would I go out there and date these women? Why would I go out there and get married to these women? Okay, this is the advice that is being given by women to women. And you know what, guys? They eat it up. If you thought that it was just this woman who thought like this, maybe she was like, you know, one of the crazy ones or whatever, allow me to introduce you to the comment section of this particular video. So as you can see, guys, this is the TikTok that we just watched. It has 10.7 thousand likes on the video. It has almost 400 comments, and it is tagged with the hashtags relationships, advice for women, and advice for girls, okay? And the advice being given is obviously that you should date multiple men at once and not let those men find out about each other. So let's take a read of some of these comments. This first comment here says, that last sentence is key, laughing emoji. And this comment has 600 likes on it. The next individual here, both of these are women, by the way. Next individual here says, amazing. Everybody needs to listen to this entire audio. Good one. Thank you. Oh my goodness. That's too funny, but so true. Lol, right? Felt this coming, still laughing, right? All this kind of crap about, you know, this is fantastic. Love the end. You go, girl. This is so funny. You're a genius. To be honest, guys, this is just absolutely sad. But what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again with another response video. And on today's show, guys, we are going to be kicking it off by breaking down the TikTok that we just saw from this woman right here. And then we will get into some other clips. So, guys, as we jump in, make sure to leave your comments and your thoughts. And if you haven't already, make sure that you come and join us over on Locals. The link is in the description. I've been shouting out Locals relentlessly these days, guys, because YouTube kind of sucks. We don't really know what the hell we're allowed to say or not allowed to say, so a lot of us are kind of moving off different platforms, putting content elsewhere. So I'm going to be archiving a lot of videos, guys, slowly and moving them over there. So make sure you come and join. It's totally free if you're interested in becoming a supporter. There is also an option for that for exclusive videos. But, you know, let's jump right into this TikTok and then we will take a look at some other videos. So let's take a listen.
Ladies, you want to be in a happy relationship? There's only 4 things you need to do. 1, find a man who'll make you laugh. 2,
anytime a girl says something like, oh, you know, a man that can make me laugh is so important, right? It's like, it's painful for my ears to listen to, guys, because it is so untrue. I don't know why on earth men are out here trying to make women laugh. Okay, what are we supposed to do? Like, we're not out here trying to be like these clowns to make these women laugh to get them to like us, guys. It is pathetic. Right? Like, just absolutely not. Okay, like, oh yeah, I'm going to tell some jokes and then maybe she'll like me. And this is some of the crap that women sell to men, right? It's like, oh, I like funny guys. No, you don't. Okay, funniness, like, you know, being funny is so low ranked on what these women actually look for. It's not even funny. Like, attractive is at the very, very top, you know, and the guy being funny is like basically non-existent.
find a man who's cultured and will explore this world with you. 3, find a guy who's intellectual and ambitious and will support your ambitions.
Yeah, because rather than be a strong and independent woman, like a lot of these women say that they are, what better way to show your strong and independence by getting men to pay for crap for you? You know, a lot of these women who get on like all these sites or, you know, TikTok and all that, they'll be like, oh, I just want a guy to like mentor me or like teach me. and crap like that. Like, oh, I just need a dude who's gonna like teach me these girls are not interested in learning business, okay? Like, they're not interested in actually putting in the hard yards of growing their business or working or crap like that. All they see is they're like, yeah, I want the CEO positions, you know, the really nice, cushy jobs. These girls don't want to be bricklayers, okay? They don't want to be plumbers. They don't want to be electricians. They don't want to be, you know, construction workers. They just want those cushy jobs at the high, you know, they're strong and independent, okay, until they realize that they're running out of time. And then it's like, oh, crap, I need a dude to do this stuff for me and to travel the world with me. And when she says travel the world with her, it really doesn't mean like that she's paying for anything. You get me?
4, of course, find a guy who's honest, trustworthy, and respectful. But most important,
yes, more attributes that you really couldn't care less about. Guys, we talk endlessly on this show. Like, girls will say this crap. Oh, I want a guy who respects me, respects my boundaries, right? Treats me well. You know, he makes me laugh. You're better off just doing the exact, like, just not listening to it. Just don't listen to it. All of this talk of like virtues, and have you guys ever noticed how girls will like, they'll set out a list, right? They'll say like all this stuff that they want in a relationship, like he's got to be the complete package, but all the dudes that they end up with have the complete opposite characteristics to anything on that list. Like, oh, he's got to be kind and caring and funny, and the dudes that they go out with are just like never crack a joke, you know, don't, you know, they'll smile here and there, but like they're pretty serious. They're attractive dudes, okay, and they're not emotionally available. And yet here we are looking at these lists like, oh yeah, this is fantastic advice.
importantly, more important than any of that, ladies, is that you make sure that these 4 guys don't know each other.
Yeah, very funny. And you know, that's fantastic advice to be throwing around when you're over 30 years of age, because I'm sure that won't result in you being single for a very, very possibly indefinite, long amount of time. But guys, let's continue with some more clips outside of this one, because that is giving me a headache. Again, remember to leave your thoughts and your comments, and let's jump right into it. If I can hit the damn right button. I think it's this one. Yep. Here we go.
I do not have time for this. I do not have time for you.
Always, mommy, sorry, and never mommy, please.
You don't know me, but I would like to pay your bills and solve a lot of your problems.
If you are a woman, please stop scrolling and listen to this message.
I don't know why these girls, like, they think that their career means something, or like dudes want them to pay, like, oh yeah, like, oh, look after us. Dudes do, I've said this many times, men do not care about your career or your ability to provide. It doesn't make you any more attractive. It doesn't help you get any more men, right? There might be a small percentage of dudes who are like, yeah, she earns more, I'm into that. But for the most part, like, dude, we do not care about your income or your ability to provide. These girls, they take their entire worldview and then they place it onto men as if we care about the same things. And this is the lie that society and a lot of these girls sell, which is like men and women are the same. We're not the same. We think very differently. We're into different things. There are huge differences, but we're just going to pretend like all that crap doesn't exist, right?
This was in response to one of my
Problems.
If you are a woman, please stop scrolling and listen to this message. This was in response to one of my videos with the prompt being, how do you feel attractive as a single woman when there's no one telling you that you are attractive?
Wait, I thought all this stuff of like, who cares? Like, what a dumb question. Like, who the hell cares? I'm telling you, man, a lot of these girls with their self-esteem, like, their self-esteem is so poor that unless they get it validated by random strangers, typically random dudes, they feel crap about themselves. There are girls out there, guys, like many, many women out there who they'll use Instagram, right? And they'll spend hours like editing a photo, choosing the right photo, whatever, which like, whatever. Like, I love photography, to be honest with you guys. Like, I can see the artistic element in it, but these girls just, it's straight up delusion, because what they do is they sit there for like 50 years with like 50 photos of themselves, okay, and then they sit there editing they choose the best few, they edit the best few, then they finally decide to post one, and as if it doesn't give them enough validation, like if there's not enough likes, like if it doesn't get over 50, 100, whatever likes on it, then she'll delete the post, right? Like, yeah, you're so, you know, you love yourself, but your self-esteem is, determined by how much random people validate you. Okay, buddy.
How do you feel attractive as a single woman when there's no one telling you that you are attractive?
I don't know, like maybe grow up or something and stop asking dumb questions. Like, what even is that?
My self-esteem is high. That's how I learned how I was attractive. My DMs are empty because my standards raised and my taste of men have changed.
Maybe your messages are empty because your age has increased. You know, maybe like the reason this girl thinks that like there's a correlation between like her self-esteem and being attracted, like, oh yeah, raise your standards, girl, that'll make you more attractive. What?
Lord, when I hated myself, I had DMs, I had text messages, I had phone calls, I had a whole bunch of apps, and I had always somebody to talk to, but nobody was quality. Nobody was trying to wife me up.
Yeah, because that's the definition of quality to these girls. Notice how when you listen to them, right, what they do is they lie to you and they try and correlate quality and being a good man and being someone who's masculine and morally virtuous with someone who gives them what they want, right? In other words, you are not a virtuous man unless you commit to her and marry her. You are not a quality man unless you marry her, right? This is the kind of crap that like dudes will hear this and they'll be like, I'm not going to marry you. I don't want to marry you. You can try and shame me into marriage all you want, which unfortunately works on some dudes, right? But hopefully more and more men are hearing this and they're saying, no, I don't want to marry you. This is dumb.
You need to understand it doesn't matter how you look. Beautiful or telling a woman beautiful will automatically put them in their submissive state.
That's not true at all. That is absolutely not true at all. If you validate these girls, no, absolutely not. Now, here's the thing. If you're very attractive, you can get away with saying dumb things or over-validating girls because it doesn't matter so much because she's attracted to you. That doesn't mean that it's a smart move. That doesn't mean that just because you can get away with it doesn't mean that it was the correct move. And I'll say this as well. The majority of women, when they get validated by a man, they then no longer respect that man, right? Like if you go on a girl's profile, okay, you've just met a girl, comment on her profile that she's like beautiful or some crap like that. You've essentially just told her, like, she's just going to treat you as friend material from now on because she's got what she wanted. She's got that validation. This is why these girls, they'll watch your Instagram stories. You know, they'll reply to it here and there, but then they'll never meet up or crap like that. A lot of guys think like, oh, she's interested. They're just doing it for attention, guys. Like, they just need a bit of validation, and then they take that validation and then they run with it, because that's what a lot of these girls are really looking for. They're not looking for a good man. They're not looking for a solid relationship. They're looking for dopamine and validation.
Especially if you just want to be somebody because you fear of dying alone. When you fear dying alone, you will date anything and anybody because you feel you don't deserve better, or you feel you need to have somebody now because nobody's going to want you anyways. When you stop thinking of yourself that way, when you put yourself on a pedestal instead of waiting for a man to put you on a pedestal, that's when you find don't give a damn when your shit is empty, when your text messages are bland, or your phone doesn't ring but for money-making opportunities.
I believe this is what, like, the Twitter sphere, I hate Twitter, man, but I believe this is what Twitter calls cope, right? Where this girl's trying to rationalize it like, oh, you know, like, it's got nothing to do with beauty. My DMs are empty because of my standards, which, to be fair, you're going to run a lot of dudes away because of this, okay? But, you know, if you're going, oh, yeah, I'm the best, my standards are so high, I'm a boss babe, I'm about making money, good luck attracting dudes, right? You're only going to attract dudes who like really don't respect themselves. If you're putting out like all this masculine energy and like, oh, I'm a boss babe, I'm this, I'm that, like dudes don't like it. It's not something that's attractive. And you can say all this crap all you want, but the fact of the matter is that you're probably going to be alone, and that's what it is.
Have patience. The man you're waiting for, because at the end of the day, looks don't matter because it don't have a face, especially when you're in that phase that you just want to smash and go.
I just went out there. I'm confused when these girls say this, right? Like, oh, I'm just waiting for a man. You could have a man, but you just don't. Like, that's the thing. You could choose a guy. You could have had a girl. You could have had a guy, excuse me, since the age of 18. So this whole like waiting for Prince Charming type crap, it's not going to happen. Like, you're not going to find your Prince Charming. You know, you can run through all the bad boys that you want and then realize that, you know, now you love yourself and all this kind of crap, and now you've got standards. You're going to be waiting forever for that man. You could have had your man. Your Prince Charming has been and gone multiple times. Multiple times. And yet here you are saying that you're still waiting for a man. You're going to be waiting forever.
And everybody knows smash and dough, hit it and quit it, whatever you call it. When you find your worth, when the wait will be worth it, and you will finally thank God that you didn't settle for anything that crawls into your DMs. Because I promise you, it's a crawl. They're in their DMs looking for females because they're bored, not because they're looking for quality. You were just there, your little green light was on that you were online. Because men of quality don't have the time to be rummaging around for women on Instagram, on Facebook.
Men of quality don't have time to be marrying you. You see, here's the thing. A lot of guys who are rich and successful, or they look really good, they don't have the time to have a... Why would they have a relationship with you? Like, you see how the logic is kind of backwards here, guys? Right? Like, oh, you know, all these dudes, you know, they should, like, it doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't make sense. Men just don't want to marry you. Okay, this woman's logic is like, why the hell would I waste my time having a full-blown relationship with this woman who's incredibly masculine when she can just be hit up on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, come out for like, you know, 30 minutes and then it's, you know, and now that's it, right? Why am I going to waste 6 years of my life, 12 years indefinitely getting married to this girl, which, you know, marriage used to be a thing where it's indefinite, but here we are, guys, where girls are just, you know, creating divorces left and right. But why would a dude waste his time?
Because they don't have a face. Take it one day at a time, ladies. You will not regret not settling.
You cannot jump to the end of oppression and just act like that's the way things are.
Let's split the bill, in the name of equality.
Like, yeah, women should pay half the bill when they're treated as equal to men, but they are not. So
Women are treated better than men. They absolutely are. You can be a girl and exist, and dudes will give you free crap. They will treat you fantastically. Guys, I'm telling you, go log into any video game, log into any dating app, and pretend to be a woman, and people will treat you considerably better because you are a woman. These girls saying like, oh, I'm oppressed, I have things so difficult. Both genders have certain things that are more difficult and some that are less difficult. But overall, women are treated significantly better than men.
So you close the pay gaps, we'll pay half the check.
The pay gap has already been closed. It's been illegal since like 1984 or some crap. Like, I don't remember the date anymore, but it's been illegal for many years now to pay someone a different amount on the basis of gender. So maybe you could open your TikTok with understanding, I don't know, the basics. That would probably help.
Or when gay people were asking for gay marriage and you said, but you already have civil partnerships. Straight people should have civil partnerships too, otherwise the gays are getting something extra. Civil partnerships only existed because you didn't want to give gay people marriage and call it marriage. Or when you complain that people who could theoretically work are leeching off the government and then say, cut their benefits, when you're the one who made it so that it was impossible to get off the benefits system in the first place, even when people want to work, so that we can't protect the most vulnerable people in our society. Like, you broke the system. You fix it.
Why is this woman trying to clump herself together with minorities? You see what's happening here? Where what she's doing is she's saying, oh, women don't have it equal, and then she's trying to lump herself in with other groups so that she can say that she's oppressed. It's disgusting.
Don't demand my cracked piece of porcelain. You jump to wanting to give women, black people, gay people, disabled...
Why are you grouping yourself with minorities? Women are not a minority. They make up like half of the planet. And yet here you are saying like, oh, we're a minority like these other... No, 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 no. No, 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 no. You know what? If women want to be strong and independent, they can join the workforce. If you want to earn equal money, you should do the equal amount of work. There is no such thing as a gender pay gap. Right? The thing is, girls do not earn as much money because they do not work as hard, they do not work as long, and they do not work the positions that make them earn more money. But guys, we are going to be calling the clips right there because I am getting a damn headache, and we are going to be jumping into a brief Reddit story, and then we're going to be jumping into an article. So guys, we just wrapped up the videos right there. Make sure you leave your comments. If you've got anything to say, guys, feel free to drop it below. Always interesting to see what you guys have to say. Now let's continue into today's Reddit story. So let's take a look at this one. This one is titled, "Me, 23-year-old male, and my wife, who is a 20-year-old female, said that she slept in the same bed as her guy friend." Now I'm going to say this right off the bat. Do women who have quote-unquote these guy friends, let's just call it for what it is. They are not friends. Okay? I don't know, man, like... There have been times, I've said this before, there have been times where I'll see a girl, right, and they'll be like, you know, I'll literally see women lie through their teeth to their boyfriends, like, oh, this guy's just a friend, and I'm like looking at the situation knowing full well that that quote-unquote friend has done more than friendly activities with that woman, while the boyfriend's just standing there nodding like an idiot. Right? It's embarrassing. It's straight up embarrassing. You want to believe these girls when they say, oh yeah, he's just a friend? Be my guest. But let's read this story. So it all goes like this. My wife, who I've been together with for 3 years now, was studying marine biology abroad and renting a place to stay. The place was relatively good place, and she was staying with 2 other females, her landlord, and another student. One day she said that she was looking at glowing algae with a PhD student in the middle of the night, guy by the way, and they wanted to look at the algae together under a microscope in a dark room, and she suggested her room. When she got there, the landlord basically told her that she can't bring random strangers unannounced, which I get, by the way. You're renting the place and it's not really your own, and she was frustrated. You know, gentlemen, there are situations like this, and a lot of guys will be like, oh, you know, do I have the right to be mad, blah, blah, blah. And the thing is, it's not always good to assume bad intentions of people. I get that. However, crap like this is just... it's ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. Girls will play this card where they can get a, like, they'll play the plausible deniability card. Okay, so what they'll do is they'll invite a dude to their house in the middle of the night, but then they'll say it's because of, oh, it's because of work. You know, it's, oh, it's because of this, it's because of that. So they always have the plausible deniability card at all times, right? So you're the bad person if you suggest that it's ridiculous. Let's continue. To be honest, at that point, that story to me felt really weird. You're a science student at a university, and you mean to tell me there isn't a lab to look at algae there? Now, I'm going to defend this clown woman for a second. I'm pretty sure that, what is this type of algae? I'm pretty sure this algae can only be seen at nighttime. But yeah, maybe they could have taken it to the lab in there at midnight. I don't know, but let's continue. Anyways, a couple of days passed and she wasn't on good terms with her landlord, so she went back home and she returned. She said that she felt the landlord was frustrated at her, so she tried to avoid her. And I've said this a lot too, guys, like, girls know when other girls are pulling shenanigans, by the way. Right? Like, they know that all these games and like this subterfuge exists in the background. So when like one girl is cheating on her boyfriend, you know already that the other girls, either they're in on it or they know about it. Right? This is like a lot of this bickering, guys. I tell you what, girls will say like, oh, it's about the sisterhood, but I have never seen people be more cutthroat than a group of girls. Like, I've never seen anything more cutthroat than that, really. In terms of like social crap, you know. 3 days ago, the landlord told her that ever since you've come back, you've been ignoring me and didn't have the decency to have a conversation with me, so this is a notice that I will not renew your lodger's agreement. Then she said the landlord asked for her to come back and scolded her for half an hour, and the same day she left to find another place. It sounds to me like the landlord caught onto what was going on. I don't think the landlord would really scold someone for half an hour for bringing someone over unannounced, but you know, I don't know. Depends where they live, I guess. The norms over there. Don't really know. The guy friend who she befriended offered to help her move out, and she booked another place, but she had nowhere to sleep for one night. Yeah, very convenient. The guy offered her to sleep at his place, and they slept in the same bed, and she said that she had pillows between them, so nothing happened. What a terrible lie. Like, couldn't sleep on the floor, couldn't sleep in a different room, couldn't not sleep at this random dude's house, could have slept at her friend's house instead. No, we have to sleep at this dude's house and sleep in his bed. Notice how all this crap, guys, is just super convenient, right? Like, we as guys, I think a lot of dudes tend to be trusting to a fault. Like, really trusting to a fault. Like, oh, you know, my wife slept over at some random dude's house in the middle of the night. Do I have the right to be mad? Get rid of the wife. Why is she your wife is my question. Let's have a look. By the way, she casually left out that part when she was talking about her situation. So this woman explained this situation to her husband and left out the part that she slept in another dude's bed. Okay. I don't know how I feel about that. Plus, I know I'm a university student dropout, but I'm not that stupid. I need some advice. It's been bothering me for a while now. She is staying at her new place now, by the way. For those wondering, I'm in another country at the moment, and she moved out because she called her mother crying, and that's what her mother said. Now let's take a read of a couple of these comments and see what these people have to say. Again, guys, make sure to leave your comments on the matter. Sounds like some trickle truth. A university lab would definitely have a better space and equipment to look at algae. Midnight is a weird time to be walking around university checking things out. At first she left out the part about sleeping in the same bed, but that trickled in. Next it'll be just some cuddling or just a kiss. She hid this from you because she knows what she did was wrong. Absolutely. And guys, things like this are so incredibly common that I can literally just pull up Reddit, or my editor can pull up Reddit, and within like 15 seconds we can find stories like this. And dudes are always asking themselves, do I have the right to be mad? Should I break up with her? When the truth of the matter is that a lot of these girls, even when they're in relationships, are just straight up single. But guys, let's jump into today's magazine article, and then we will wrap up today's episode. So let's take a read of this one. And this one I thought was pretty funny, the title of which is, You've Got to Stop Making Excuses for Lazy Guys. Okay, and this is written by a woman named Keelia Clarkson. Okay, so let's take a read as to what this woman has to say. Men's dating game seems to be getting lazier, and we've been making excuses for them. It's hardly groundbreaking to say that the culture of dating is constantly shifting. A century ago, exchanging love letters was all the rage. In the 1950s, a young man would ask a woman out on a proper date, possibly even bring her flowers. Today, especially after being locked up for the better portion of the last year, we rely pretty heavily on our phones to connect with other singles, whether through dating apps or through social media. Overall, getting a date these days has become relatively easy, with our phones doing most of the legwork of finding a match for us online. We're able to sift through potential matches, exchange flirty messages with a cute guy, and lock down a date without even having to change out of our sweatpants. And you know what? A lot of these girls will make this argument like, oh, you know, back in the 1950s, men would do stuff for us. They would ask us out on a date. They'd be very specific about plans. They'd bring us flowers, maybe some chocolates or some crap like that. And they would actually put in effort to the date. But now that we're in, you know, the year 2022, why aren't men putting in any of the effort? It's because men have no reason to. They have no incentive to. Why would guys go out of their way, do all of this crap for women who, number one, are generally not appreciative of it and feel entitled to it? So right off the bat, why would you do it there? And number two, this is a big one. If you're a dude and you get into a relationship with a woman and you're doing all of this kind of crap, you are on the hook for common law marriage. But let's continue. Along with this development has been a push for young women to take the reins when it comes to dating, to pursue a guy, to plan the date, or to keep the relationship moving forward. We're sold the idea that becoming the active pursuer in our relationship is not only empowering for us, but will help us find a man who isn't threatened by a strong, assertive woman. We are going to... That sounds like some content right there, doesn't it, gentlemen? But is this approach actually helping us, or is it just allowing men to get lazier? Passiveness does not equal confidence. With culture's push to empower women by a way of encouraging them to become more aggressive in the dating game, we've come to perceive any guy who happily accepts this style of dating as being an ally of the female empowerment. Yes, continue to go out there, ladies, hit up those chads, try and lock them down and push for a relationship with those men, because they are definitely, yeah, I agree with this. They're an ally of women and, you know, women's empowerment, because it's not empowerment. You're making a fool of yourself. You go out here, you date a whole bunch of random dudes. Oh yeah, men will clap you on the back. They'll say you're strong and empowered. It's kind of like the same thing as, you know, girls saying that they love guys who give them attention and validation. Like, they'll take the free attention, they'll take the free validation in the same way that men will take the free bedroom fun and the non-commitment and stuff like that. Oh, hell yeah. You know, these guys, they'll be a fan of women's empowerment because it's not even empowerment to begin with. It's just being a clown. We've come to blah, blah, blah. We interpret a guy's passiveness as being confident enough in himself that he's happy with a woman calling the shots. We interpret blah, blah, blah. There's an element of truth to this. A man shouldn't feel emasculated if we text him first, but often enough, this only enables a guy to take the easy way out, putting hardly any effort into wooing us, impressing us, coming up with fun dates, or making us feel special, all in the name of female empowerment. Why on earth is female empowerment contingent on men doing crap for you? Riddle me that, okay? Look at this. All in the name of female empowerment, which coincidentally involves men coming up with dates, making them feel special, impressing them, and wooing them. Doesn't sound like female empowerment to me. It sounds like female chauvinism, actually, masquerading as female empowerment. By completely taking on the burden of pursuing a guy, we're letting him coast through the relationship without investing any of his time or energy, all the while investing all of ours. This sets the tone for the rest of the relationship, or lack thereof in my opinion, making it our responsibility more often than not to breathe life into the relationship. Yeah, I love terms that make absolutely no sense. The lines between girlfriend and mother get blurry. Whether or not a woman is yet or ever a biological mother, it's in our nature to nurture those around us. Interesting assessment. It's not an accident that so many young childless women refer to themselves as cat mothers or even plant mothers. There's something innate in us that drives us to nourish and cultivate life, and far too often we exercise this inclination in our romantic relationships to an unhealthy extent. We've all seen that cringe-worthy couple, the girlfriend who caters to her boyfriend, drives him everywhere, whips up every meal he eats, and dutifully picks up his socks for him, effectively acting like his mother. It's one thing to lovingly help our guy out, since relationships require sacrifice and acts of service. Notice how in these girls' view, you know, relationships apparently require sacrifice and acts of service, but they only seem to do it for men who are very attractive, right? Kind of interesting how that works, right? Like, oh, you know, relationships require sacrifice and acts of service, but the only time you see women doing this is to men who aren't interested in them anyway. So it's another thing entirely to let a guy get away with behaving like a child, thinking of ourselves as an attentive girlfriend, when really we're just dating a spoiled little boy, not a man. And of course, we have to attack a man's masculinity to wrap up today's episode. Guys, as always, make sure to leave your thoughts and your comments. Come and join us over on Locals. The link will be in the description. If you're interested in becoming a supporter, there's exclusive content over there. If you're not interested in becoming a supporter, that's totally cool too. There is publicly available archived videos over there, guys, so make sure that you come and join. The link will be in the description, and as always, guys, make sure that you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace. Yo, what is going on, guys? Past Taylor here. Just want to say thank you if you made it to the end of today's video. Before you head out, there's just a few announcements that I'd like to make. The first is that my editor, who goes through all of the blood, sweat, and tears of putting together these videos for us to endure, has started his own YouTube channel. I'm going to leave a link to his channel in the video description below, so make sure that you go and show him some support by going and giving him a sub. Also, at the very bottom of the video descriptions, there is a link for those of you who are interested in becoming an editor. I'm not sure how long I'm going to leave these applications open for, but if you're interested in working with me behind the scenes, there will be a link at the very bottom of the video description. Lastly, guys, as always, don't forget to come and join us over on Locals. You guys might have noticed that a lot of YouTube content creators are kind of branching off to different platforms, and that's because we really don't know what we're allowed to say or do, and a lot of us don't really know how long we will be around for. So guys, make sure that you come and join us over on Locals. It's totally free to join. There's a support option if you're interested. There's also exclusive content and stuff like that over there, but it's totally free if you're just wanting to go and join, guys. The link is in the description, so make sure that you come and join us. But as always, guys, make sure you're taking care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Peace.